Hey everyone, Teamudf here, and today Grunt and I decided to do a discussion on the monetization of Skyrim mods and the outlook of future game modding in general with this monetization system. Some of you guys may have heard this from Steam and whatever. As you guys know, I don't really do videos like this, so if it goes well, maybe we can do more. If it doesn't, oh well, go ahead and let me know what you think. But just remember to keep your comments civilized. It's an opinion video. How this worked is Grunt organized his thoughts, and I decided to respond to things as I heard them. So he's actually mostly the star here, and I ask a few interview questions at the end. I went ahead and added his footage to this video as well because he had pictures and things for you guys to view. So enjoy this ridiculously long podcast, opinion, whatever thing. I don't know what it is. I've brought a guest to host the show, I guess, is what I'm saying. Yeah, just go ahead and...
It is I, Grunt, the human.
This is Grunt the Human.
Yes, so, for those of you who don't know, Steam is starting to charge money for mods on Skyrim. Now, the thought is that basically, it'll support mod creators. And as a thought, that's not bad.
It's really not, no.
It's not a bad thought.
I can understand the perspective because I'm part of that RPG Maker community and, stuff like that. So yeah, I understand the premise.
And even from my perspective, I've been here since November 11, 2011. I'm still in the modding community 4 years later.
Not me.
Not you. But, I've reviewed mods like False Scars, Insanity Sorrows, Weapons, etc. And in all seriousness, especially False Scar, an example, is a mod that was so perfectly developed. I only encountered like one bug, and that was because of my follower. And I'm going to bring that point up later. So remember that point.
Do it.
So, the bug part, yeah. So, False Scar, that would probably be a mod I'd pay for. But then Steam encourages this on the Steam Workshop. So, let's take a look. Let's just take a look at this page. I've encountered the most important things. So, introducing new ways to support the Workshop creators, blah, 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 blah. Starting with Skyrim, 24,000 free mods. Buying, here's the bundle we'll talk about in a moment.
The bundle, yes.
The bundle for the mods, yes.
Okay.
And also, try any mod risk-free. We'll talk about that in a moment. So, can I get a refund? If you discover that a mod does not work for you or does not meet your expectations based on the description of the mod, you can get a refund within 24 hours of your purchase. Okay. Seems reasonable.
Okay, so my question now is, I'm sure this will be answered at some point, but how does this refund work in the sense that I may have already downloaded the mod, and now I've got the data files. So can I just download mods and then request refunds and everything and just run away with extra data files? How does this
work? It's another very interesting point that I don't have the answer to.
I see.
But another thing to be very interesting is this within 24 hours of the purchase. So, that's pretty reasonable. But then you have to realize we're dealing with Skyrim here. Skyrim is a completely different animal than most games. Skyrim, there's hundreds of thousands of mods, in fact, across the Nexus, the Workshop, and, ultimately, there are going to be mod conflicts. And, like many mods, I don't see immediately when there's a mod conflict. It takes me a few hours, it takes me a few days, it takes me a few weeks to realize. For instance, right now in my Skyrim, for some reason, I can't absorb a Dragon Soul. I don't know why. I need to go through my mods and figure out what the problem is. That's a very interesting point. So, I guess these mods conflict with other mods, which will be entirely likely. Because, someone will use the same cell, someone will use a similar NPC, NPCs might go through each other. I don't know.
So guys, take a shot every time something shows up. And what was the beginning place? Riverwood?
Riverwood.
Yeah, okay. Take a shot every time someone tries to monetize a mod for Riverwood.
Yeah. And, so yeah. So this is the basic overview of this. You can get them in the Steam inventory. You can rate them. Da-da-da-da-da. So,
also, to the fact of the refund. Okay. The 24 hours, again, reasonable because you have, the chance to test it out and figure out if something's wrong or not. But this doesn't take into account the fact that future mods are going to come out and potentially conflict with your old mods that you may no longer want. Which is, buyer beware. But this just seems inherently flawed in that it doesn't take time into consideration.
That's another thing to add, is that these mods are going to, completely mess up your save games. Because, again, another very interesting point that I need to bring up. In Skyrim, if I load up, let's just say 2 mods, okay? I play with those mods for, let's just say, an hour. I then save the game and remove mod A, but still have mod B running. Skyrim will still expect that Mod A is running. So every time you boot up the game, Skyrim will immediately run a check to see if Mod A is running. Now, with one mod, this isn't a problem, but when you start to go even deeper, I had the problem of hundreds of mods.
You had way too many
And
mods.
this is called save bloating problems. And pretty much, on your own, there is no way to fix this without external programs. The way you can fix it was with SKSE and their commands. God bless the SKSE community.
Oh, yeah.
So, another interesting thing to bring up is SKSE. Well, SKSE is probably one of the most required mods out there. Virtually every self-independent mod requires SKSE because it's called the Skyrim script extender. So there's a reason you kind of need it to run more scripts. Scripts you want to make. So, people are basically monetizing mods that require SKSE to even function. But to my knowledge, no one in the SKSE community team is even getting paid for these.
So we're using SKSE's script, but we're not paying SKSE basically.
And if that isn't copyright, I don't know what the hell is.
Okay. Oh, I actually wonder if the SKSE developers care, and if they do, what they would be able to do about it.
Yeah, I haven't found any information relating to that, but...
Okay.
And another thing to state is that going into this, no one's against donating.
No.
No one is
absolutely
against
not.
donating this. But to be forced to pay for a mod, and with these mods, what I will show you in the next picture, which you have to read, you have to look at these mods, and you just have to take a moment. So we'll go to the next picture.
Oh,
Okay.
I have to do pictures.
So
Okay, fine.
Yeah, well, I'm doing it.
Okay. You give me the pictures so I can. Okay.
It's the
Oh, you just sent me the picture.
paying
Okay. All
mods
right.
too.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Okay.
paying mods too.
Okay.
So, we'll talk about this. So the 17 mods right now that are paid for, other ones are going under quote-unquote consideration. So let's take a look at some of these
What's
mods.
the criteria for consideration here? Like, what are they doing? Are they making? Well,
To
I'm sure-
my knowledge, Steam is just kind of making sure it runs. And another thing to state is we all know the problem with Greenlight. Steam just doesn't really care. They just kind of throw mods up, or games rather, in Greenlight just to make a quick buck. And same thing with game creators in that sense, because they'll just put up a game and then never update it. This is another problem with early access games, and they're just completely screwing people out of their money. And Steam basically doesn't even check to see if these mods are good.
So this is actually where I kind of want to go back to the 24-hour thing, because this leads to also under support for the mod. If you download this mod and it's suddenly under-supported now, you just paid for something that's not even going to work in the future, perhaps. Which, again, buyer beware, and this is how things go, but why are we monetizing a risk? This just, I don't know, it doesn't bode well for me.
And I have a quote here from a Joe Damore from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And this is from change.org for the petition. And my link, I'll have the petition if you're interested in signing it. But here's what he said. Valve has demonstrated a complete inability to curate content, Greenlight and Early Access. It isn't going to be any better with paid mods. Nobody's going to be there to stop scammers from selling mods that are already free elsewhere. And in the end, the only people who stand to win is Valve, who gets to take a slice of the pie while doing nothing in return. Valve and Bethesda take 75% of the earnings from a mod. So if I put up a mod that's $10, Valve is going to take $7.50.
Oh wait, did it say Valve and Bethesda?
Valve and Bethesda. That's
So
basically
Bethesda's
what it's
getting-
implied to be. That's
Okay.
basically what it's implied to be.
Okay, so that actually solves one of my problems with the whole thing, is that Bethesda wasn't getting money for... Okay, so that makes just a tad bit more sense on my end now, okay.
But let's look at the modders' impact. You're only getting 25% of the profits. This isn't even anyone who's in business. It doesn't matter who the hell you are. 75-25 is one of the worst cuts you can make. You want to go 50-50, you want to go 40-60. 25-75 is just ridiculous. You know what? It feels like you're getting hammered.
Well, now, see, my problem with the 25-75 on the modders' end is that they're going to be encouraged to raise the price so that they actually walk away with something.
Exactly. You can bring these mods up to $100. can bring them up to $100, and you get $25 from something that you can make in just a few moments. Because remember, Valve basically doesn't really check them out really too well. So I could make a mod, just make it a gnome, make it a gnome who follows you. Charge $100. Someone buys that, and you get $25 for basically spending 15, 20 minutes from doing that mod.
I'm sure they don't check them very well because it's Valve, but at the same time, I wouldn't reasonably expect many people to buy a $100 gnome. That would
Exactly, but that was more of reductio ad absurdum, but it's entirely a valid point.
Exaggerated example, I know. I do them a lot in class and stuff. Yeah, okay.
So, anyway, we have a few mods here, so let's just take a look at this.
Okay.
We have a follower mod, we got a bunch of weapons mods, just keep an interest, and armor mods.
Alright.
We have Midas Magic Gold Edition. I'm very sad to hear that it's being sold for $6.
Okay. This is by the same guy who did Midas for...
I don't know. You may have to check me on that.
Okay.
So we see all these mods, all right? Let's zoom out a little bit. So here's a little bit of math. So armor and weapon mods in this pack constitute for 10 out of 17. That results in about 59% of all these mods being armor and weapon mods. And let's also think about this as well. Armor and weapon mods do not take long to make. They simply require an external program to make that weapon, and it's not hard to do. It really isn't. It takes a little bit of time, but it's not worth it. So to say it's 59%, so that means 59% of the $27.92 that you're spending.
Okay, so the bundle costs $27.97.
$27.92, but
okay.
it seems that the overall price is $37.11, but it's a sale because it's the it's a bundle.
Okay.
So there's that. So 59% of these mods require virtually no expertise to do. That's ridiculous.
Well, to be fair, people get paid for a lot less talent. I'm looking at you, Hollywood.
It's just entirely a valid point. But it's ridiculous that people are putting up weapon mods and charging money. I mean, let's take a look. The Shadow Scale set. $2.
So this is one set of armor for $2, basically.
Yes.
So I'm like 33 and a third % of the way to buying an indie game, but I could buy a set of armor for the same price.
And there's a heavy armor and heavy greatsword.
All right.
$3.50. Gifts of Akatosh armor and weapon, $1.50. Do you not see that these are ridiculous prices?
So they're ridiculous in the sense that, think about how many, you said yourself, you've got hundreds of mods running on Skyrim now. The more of these mods that are going to be monetized, the fewer people are actually going to be encouraged to mod their game unless they're willing to unless they're willing to pay yet another $60 to play Skyrim, basically.
Mm-hmm. Which is ridiculous. I have to pay more money to do this? This is just outrageous. So, I mean, what the hell?
And it all comes back to the fact that I'm sure someone's going to complain about it, is that, well, you just don't buy the mod then. And I'm not saying that you don't have to buy the mod. Of course you don't have to freaking buy the mod. It's your money. You do what you want with it. It's the premise, though, that nobody's going to want to mod their game unless they're willing to blow the $100 again.
Indeed. And I saw some guy, I was on one of my accounts, and he was talking about this problem. He's a mod creator for TF2. Think about that. Just a TF2 mod creator. Okay? And he's saying that this will increase the quality of mods.
Will it now?
What? What support do you have for this? It's a completely ridiculous premise. Why the hell would I be incentive to to do this when I know that if I was to, make a frickin' sword mod and pay 50 cents 50 freaking cents! What the hell? Like, what is the incentive that I have?
So the incentive is the extrinsic reward that they get paid for their hard work, so they might be willing to put more work into their mod. But this isn't how the general Skyrim community operates. This doesn't work.
It doesn't.
I can see the premise, but I just don't think this is working in practice.
Exactly. And then,
because we've had some lovely people who have outright said we don't do this for the community.
And I'm flat out gonna say it. I reviewed a mod 2 years ago, Legend of Mizark. Awful mod, in my opinion. And this is what Team is referencing. is that the mod creator claimed that he did not do this for the community.
One of the most popular mods I've ever seen. I didn't do it for the community. What did you do it for then? You didn't do it for the money back then because this didn't exist. So are you doing it for the money now? What is the premise here?
And again, doing it for the money now. Mod creators from the Nexus have exactly moved their mods from the Nexus
Oh, have they now?
to Steam so they can make money.
I see. I did not know this actually. Okay.
So this is ridiculous. And not only that, but this is just a snarky business practice.
Okay.
The Steam Workshop is, in all seriousness, not that good. Let me rephrase that. It's good in some games. It's not good in Skyrim, because when you boot up Skyrim, the game basically has to go through every single mod you have that you're subscribed to, and it checks to see if there's an update. And it's a very slow, agonizing process. So it's not a good system. So, and overall, more mods exist on the Nexus. They're overall better on the Nexus, in fact. And, so the Nexus, this is just Steam getting at the Nexus so they can destroy their business competition. This isn't anything else. They just want to destroy the competition.
Oh,
so
I see.
instead they want to kind of destroy the Nexus.
So you're okay. So you're of the opinion that Steam is doing this to oust the Nexus, basically.
It's entirely possible. I mean, this seems too odd. Okay? This is the only... What... Okay, if you could please, anyone, tell me, what is the reason? What is the reason now for not going on the Steam Workshop? Is there a reason not to? I can get paid for my mods that I made for 15 seconds. I put in single NPC with no clothes on in the middle of Riverwood.
All right, now they're encouraging people to use their system instead because, look, you can get paid over here, whereas the Nexus isn't going to pay you. So I guess I see your point. It almost seems like they're trying to drive people away from the Nexus. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, they're completely trying to destroy the Nexus. And they're gonna destroy the community of Skyrim. That's ultimately what it comes down to.
And this didn't seem like a strong community to begin with, in my opinion.
In my opinion, I agree with you. It wasn't the best of communities. We had some really good mod creators, Insanity Sorrow and Alexander J. Valecki, who made Falskar.
Falskar? Okay, yeah. That guy I would be okay with paying, toss a couple donation dollars or something.
Exactly.
That's the thing, you're donating, you feel like you're helping the cause. If I'm just paying for the mod, it's just like paying for another game. There's nothing special about it.
Exactly, and that means you're putting more and more money into the game. It's ridiculous. So there's that. I mean,
the whole thing is it's community DLC basically.
Pretty much.
It's like an EA business practice expanded to a much greater degree.
And again, you don't know if it's going to work 100% with every other mod you have. In fact, let's actually take a moment. Orisa the Wandering Rogue. Okay? Let's take a look at this mod. Alright, this is a follower mod. Okay. With, quote, over 600 lines of dialogue.
Ooh.
$5.
$5 for a person.
In Riverwood, I'm pretty sure, too.
Okay. So
I might be wrong about that part. I might be wrong about that.
Might be wrong. Okay, we won't take it.
It looks like it from the pictures that I've seen, but I might be wrong. So,
did the voice actor get paid for this?
I don't know. I mean, another thing to be stated is that I've seen there were multiple discussions last night. Today is the 24th of April, and on the 23rd when this system started, there were multiple discussions on each of these mod pages. Didn't matter, Castle Volkihar rebuilt, $3.50. I will talk about that in a moment.
Wait. Isn't Castle isn't that part of Skyrim?
That is part of Skyrim, which I will talk about in a moment. But
okay.
Back to the Wandering Rogue mod. Jesus, if I only could speak. So,
I can't
600 lines of dialogue. All right? There's another mod. Vilya. Okay?
I think I've heard of Vilya. Yeah.
Vilya was also in Oblivion.
Okay, yeah.
Voice actress, the person who made the mod, they're all awesome. They're awesome people. They put effort into their mod, and it was fantastic. They're not charging for it. There's more lines of dialogue. What the fuck is the reason that I get Orisa? Let's look at Atbeer Dress. It's to my knowledge, a discontinued mod, but it's another follower mod. Perfectly done. Probably one of my favorite mods on Skyrim, just because he's an awesome character. But what's the point of me spending $5 on this mod but get heavier dress or Villia.
Well, yeah, this is an inherent problem that I'm seeing too, is all these people who want to monetize their mods are immediately going to have to compete with the people that are not monetizing their mods, which I would hope would be an equal or comparable percentage here.
But let's also talk about Castle Volkahar Rebuilt.
Alright.
This is a place in Dawnguard, okay?
Ah, that's what it
So,
is, okay.
another thing to be stated, oh wow, this is just a Dawnguard only mod. And if you don't know that, and it's past the 24 hours mark, you just got screwed out of $3.50. So, there's that. And
Well, so is there anything keeping mod... I'm sure there's not, but you would expect then that the people making the mod would put requires Dawnguard or something
yeah,
to that
they
accord.
probably would. They probably would, but let's be honest, most people don't read the description. They just look at the pictures.
This is very true. Okay.
So, and I'm even 4 years after Skyrim was released, I'm still that's one of my problems is that I still do that and I get screwed.
She is very pretty and doesn't work when you download it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Again, you're fixing something up in Skyrim and you're expecting me to pay $3.50? What the fuck? $3.50 freaking cents for this stupid mod that just changes things around. All right, let's go over here. Purity, or is that the mod? I think it was. No, Wet and Cold was the mod. Ooh, they added a few little armors and crap for $5.
Well, armor and
Yeah,
weapons for $5.
Yeah, pretty much.
$5 armors and weapons, what I'm hearing here.
I can read the mod description. Hold on.
Let's do so.
Yeah, basically, they put on gear on NPCs. And it's about making Skyrim, quote, feel a bit more alive. I'm in another tab, anyone who's looking on my end. Basically, they add crap, and it's just dumb.
Okay. Well, making the game more alive, I'm all for, but
$5?
now we're paying $5 for this. I would. What was Dawnguard? Dawnguard was what, 15? 10?
I believe so. The price might have gone down. I'm gonna figure out.
Okay. How much gaming content did I get for $15?
A lot.
A lot of freaking gaming content, I believe.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
Dawnguard's $20.
$20. Okay.
And same thing with Dragonborn, also $20, and then Hearthfire $5. So I don't know. It's a ridiculous system.
See, my problem with this could just be that I don't know. I feel like all this DLC crap is too much money to begin with. So now if the mod community doesn't understand like how to market and things, they're just going to make it too much anyway.
Exactly, and
I have the same problem.
it's ridiculous. It's
I can't offer any insights as to how these people who are like making these armors or weapons or whatever are coming to the conclusion that I should charge 50 cents or I should charge $1, I should charge $5. There's no advising system clearly. So I can't say much about that, but I don't know. I wouldn't see many people contributing to this. I would see this falling flat. I'm not even like complaining about it from an ethical standpoint at this point. I'm just saying it seems like a system that's destined to fail.
Mm-hmm. Let's look at some of the paid item under review currently. Let's take a moment. Light armor clothing. $1. $1. You know what it does, team? It just changes some of the fucking item values in the not in the console, but in the creation kit.
Does it now?
That's all it does.
Stuff that you could do yourself, maybe.
Stuff that I could do myself and I'd have to pay for it.
Okay.
And it's not like everyone who gets Skyrim gets the creation kit for free.
Right.
So there's that. Why would I pay money for that? Okay. This is underneath a paid review, by the way.
A paid review.
No, you know what I mean. The reviews that they're looking underneath or whatever the hell.
Oh, okay.
Enhanced high-level gameplay, 50 cents. These prices, and they're going to just keep going higher and higher and higher. Look at this. These are two mods that I already have. Skyforge Weapon and Skyforge Shield. I already have these, and now he wants to charge money for them?
Okay. Oh, so people who have... Well, like... Okay, never mind. That's not surprising because the whole program started this way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay.
But do you have any final closing arguments? Because this is starting to go on for a while.
Well, so from your point of view, it's basically a problem because, number one, they were free to begin with, some of them, And number
Most of
two,
them. No, all of them were free to begin
well,
with.
okay, yeah. Well, I'm not saying like everyone's converting their mod to
Oh,
being
yeah.
monetized. That's what I'm basically saying. Okay, so your other problem with it here is that you're paying for something that's not worth the price tag.
Exactly.
So this disencourages people.
I mean, what's the point of me actually working and making mods? I mean, like, I was considering this week, with my friend Josh, we were going to make him a mod, but, like, where's the incentive now? Where I know that someone who puts up a mod for basically doing nothing, like an armor and weapon mod, selling it for $3.50, fixing a few things for $3.50, what's the incentive for me to make a mod?
Okay, so you think this discourages people, not discourages people from making future mods because their mod might not be.
No, what I'm saying is it discourages people from making good mods.
Okay.
This entire system, what the fuck is the point of me actually putting in effort if I know I can put up mods for $1, $2, $3, screw some people out of their money. Even go out. In fact, I could probably go out of my way to go with mod conflicts out there. I could probably go out of my way to do it. And what's the incentive? I don't see what the incentive is for me working hard anymore.
Okay. So you think it's just kind of an easy out, and they're going to be lazier, in fact, instead of like upping the quality.
Yes.
I see.
Some people say the opposite, but I don't see any support for that. I don't know. I don't see any support. I mean, do you see any support for that statement where the quality will go up?
No, it's just a theory. So would the quality going down be a theory? I don't know which theory would be stronger in this case because the system just started. I could easily see arguments for both at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there will be people that do both. I'm sure there will be mod creators who are like, dang man, I can make money because I felt like this before with RPG Maker, is wow, I can monetize RPG Maker. So I would like actually put effort into creating my game now because now people want to pay for it if it looks good. I'm sure the same is going to happen for Skyrim mods, but at the same time I can definitely see people who just want to make an easy $1 or something and they're like, here's a sword. I'm sure some fool will download it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I can see that. Is there any movement against this system, Gruntman?
Oh, there certainly is. Right now, in the description, there is on change.org, Valve removed the paid content of the Steam Workshop. This is particularly relating to Skyrim. And if my page would reload, there's currently 28,714 supporters for this petition. I myself have signed it. Team himself has also signed it.
I did sign it because
This is
of
ridiculous.
the under-supporting thing. I can't get behind just the thought that if I were to pay for one of these mods and then suddenly it conflicts with something in the future, you're used to being able to just removing the mod and you have a good day, sir. I liked your mod before, but now I don't, and now you're discouraged to download future mods because you put your money into this thing. So now you feel like you have to keep it. That's just my perspective, is I would feel like I have to keep the mod, and anything that conflicts with it in the future I automatically can't get because I might have put money into this mod, but I'm not going to put money into the future mod. Which would also screw over the future mod creator. Because now people who don't want to remove the paid mod because they put money into it are automatically not going to download the future mod.
Exactly. And another thing is that I have two statements. One is that some people say, oh, well, this is Skyrim. What the hell do I care? I hate Skyrim. You have all your right to think about that, but
Yeah,
if
I think
you
that's
notice,
just starting the train.
it's literally starting it. Even in Valve's little statement, I might have it here, starting with the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. This might go into Europa Universalis 4, Total War Rome. There could be mods out there that are even worsely developed than Skyrim. I mean, so there's that. It's only going to start with Skyrim. It's going to expand. Mm-hmm. And people who think that you can't stop this, that's ridiculous. Okay? There's the obvious problem with microtransactions in AAA games. Let's look at Mass Effect 3, Dragon Age Inquisition, and games like that. I have to pay money after my $60 to, for other shit in the game, which is ridiculous. So, if you think you can't stop this, you're wrong. Nobody likes microtransactions in the video games, aside from really rich people who want to completely screw over other players. I think the only people who like it are people in free-to-play games where, they can effectively balance the system.
Yeah.
And in that case, it completely makes sense to have microtransactions But in AAA games, I mean, again, right now, I would be paying for mods that are developed by the community that won't have full support like a game company would, and it wouldn't give me the same substance, if that makes sense.
Okay. All right. Another question for you.
Okay.
I've heard tell of there being discussions on Steam pages and mod pages and everything, and the mod creators are getting fed up with people bashing them and removing their comments that are against the monetization. Do you believe that they're removing these comments because they know what they're doing is wrong, or do you feel it's just that they're tired of the crap?
I don't know. To be honest with you, listen, I mean, I'm a diehard capitalist. You all should know this by now.
Okay.
I'm, in the sense, I'm for people, charging money for their mods, but not crappy content like this. But if I were to put up a mod for $1 and make it a sword mod, which people, again, are doing, I mean, I would feel like I'm doing something awful. I mean, I would hate myself. Not only that, but your standing in the community goes down. I mean, people are going to start thinking less of you, so that's entirely possible. But they could also be tired of the crap. But people, listen, if you start deleting, what people are saying, constructive criticism, if you delete your criticism, you don't know what's wrong with you. We all need criticism in our life. Whether the fact you want to hear it or not, ultimately, we all need criticism. And this goes for any human being on Earth, me, team, big YouTubers, small YouTubers, mod creators. Everyone needs these. And so people who set up these discussions because they want to talk about why you shouldn't monetize this mod, possibly, and etc. To delete the discussions is almost like infringing on someone's opinion almost. So, so there's that. I mean, it's ridiculous that they're doing it.
All right. Do you feel the percentage of free mods will dip below 50%? So in other words, will the majority of mods eventually be monetized?
What's the reason not to monetize your mod at this point?
Okay.
Like, again, as I previously stated, one of my strongest arguments is I can make a crappy mod and charge people money for it. And, I think Skyrim, compared to the Elder Scrolls 6 when it eventually comes out, will probably, I'd say, perhaps 50-50, I'd say, eventually. Maybe. It might even dip below that. But with Skyrim, there are going to be free mods. It's never going to stop. It's not, all right? Because there are still good human beings in the world. But when the Elder Scrolls 6 comes around, by 2016, 2017, 2018, because that's probably when it's going to come out, what's the reason not to charge people money for your mod?
Yeah,
because now that system has already been built up, so I can start charging people money. And the creation kit for Skyrim didn't come out until February 2012. Okay,
that's true. Okay.
So there were multiple months in between where it was extremely hard to mod. I think one of the few mods that you could do were some like texture mods. The only mod that I saw that was fully developed at that point was Jesus' Swords. Which, again, is a massive swords mod, which I highly recommend, assuming he doesn't fucking charge money for it. But, there's that. So, basically, before the creation kit for Test 6 comes out, there will be a small monopoly. And at that point, there's no reason not to charge people money for your mod.
Okay, so by the point Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, you're saying the system will be the norm. So
the system will be the norm, and we don't want the system to be the norm. So, there's ultimately what I think.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't think I've got any more questions, so that was quite fun. If you guys would like to participate in the comments, we invite you to do so. However, remember on my channel, there is a standard of comment you should make. You cannot just blatantly yell at people or call them names or something. Otherwise, you're out of here. I don't know what Grunt does on his channel, but I'm trying to keep my comments section relatively sane here, okay?
I agree.
All right, well, that is our Skyrim mod monetization discussion. We thank you all for watching. We hope to see you next time on Teamudf Unhinged, or, what's the name of your series, Gruntman?
I don't even have a series.
You don't have a series.
Maybe there will be a series on the video title.
Because I would say Gruntman Unhinged, but you don't hinge yourself ever, so I don't know what to do about this here. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Boy!